Hey, just me this week. I just got out of seeing a movie with a buddy of mine, but he was feeling super tired, so we rescheduled his Cartalk. Unfortunately, that means I don't have a guest for this week, but that's cool. A lot's been going on the last little while, which I haven't really had a chance to talk about ever since I kind of started transforming this channel into more curated content or interview type stuff. I've had less of a chance to talk to you directly, so maybe this is a good thing. I got back from a few days in Ottawa as of this past weekend, and it's been super cool. I got a chance to meet my actual coworkers. I've got a chance to feel out the company a little bit better that I work for, and it kind of cemented in the ideology that I was batting around of giving the company another year. For those of you who don't know, and I guess that's everyone who I don't talk to in real life, I applied for quite a few jobs outside of the company. I don't like working remotely, and these jobs offered, better pay, downtown, kind of checked most of those boxes. I had a couple interviews lined up with some of the larger guys, but I just couldn't do it. Especially coming back from this summit, I think it hit me that there's so much potential at this company. I'm willing to give it another year to see what happens next. And I think especially, a year is a long time. I've only been here for a year and a half. And I know things haven't changed a lot in that time, but I think this is going to be a really good year. I think, I'm talking to a bunch of new teams right now. I'm going through interviews. Hopefully I'll have another soon, all internal. One of the interviews that I got was for a social media newsletter creation company that I don't want to name for whatever reason. They seem really cool. They pay a ton of money. They offer some really cool perks, but I don't want to work for them. I want to work for a company that I believe in, and I don't know if it's just because I've drank the Kool-Aid here, if that's what you want to call it, or I'm a little bit biased because I'm already on their pay scale, but I want to work for a company I can get behind. And the place I'm at now, their literal only job is to give people independence from, their day-to-day jobs. I think unfortunately in 2019 there's this sad reality that you can't thrive on a single income. And the fact that our platform was built to help people gain that independence through e-commerce, and I promise this isn't an ad, there's no referral code at the end of this, but it's really cool. The first time I kind of dabbled in this, first time I used the platform was when Kanye West canceled his tour in Toronto. This was 2017, right before he had that mental health break he took. And I started making these shirts that were total copyright infringement, but they were exact replicas of his tour shirt down to the pixel, and everything was the exact same, St. Pablo and the date and everything like that, but instead of the venue or instead of the actual tour date itself or whatever, it just said show canceled at the bottom, right on the back. And I put them online, priced them at $100 for all the rich kids who couldn't go to the concert, and I sold 5-10 grand in a weekend. It was crazy. And I'm not saying that to gloat, of course, or anything like that, but that was one example, which unfortunately I haven't quite been able to recreate just yet, but that financial freedom that comes with, e-commerce. I kind of wish I didn't shut it down. It's not like Kanye was going to sue me or anything. My mom thought he would. I thought he would too, which that might be kind of cool. But the hype died down, and, so did product sales, and that's fine. But it was really cool, and the people I talk to, I see this woman in Toronto every single month when I go down to the office, and she makes clothes for her Chihuahua, and another guy has this hand bracelet glove thing he's made for old people with like shaking hands. I think tremors or something it's called. And it's like uses this magical contraption to like help them eat and stuff like that. And there's such an underlying conscience behind all of this, you know? And I feel like I'm a bit far removed from that because I work on the enterprise side of things right now. But I feel like moving internal will kind of help put or instill that kind of journey or that kind of, you know, lust for it back into me. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna give it another year. I still really want to move downtown, but, you know, especially actually after I met one of my coworkers. She lives up in, I think, Cornwall, middle of nowhere, about an hour out of Ottawa. Oh, is that just what we're doing? She lives an hour outside of Ottawa, and, oh, my lights are on. She lives an hour outside of Ottawa, and she's so happy. She's one of the happiest people that I know. She's just this, like, bright, sunshine, California type girl, and she lives in the middle of nowhere. And it got me thinking, like, maybe I don't want to move to Toronto just for the sake of the city. I'm just hoping to find some sort of community. It's one of the things I loved about Vancouver so much, and even the East Coast. It's, you know, they got community gardens there, and people talk to each other, and I still can't go over the fact that, you know, my best friend's roommate, we were talking, he doesn't know his neighbors. He lives in a condo. Like, if you're not trying to bake cookies for them when you move in, like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, and maybe these are older values for some reason, which is kind of disappointing, but I think I can stave off moving downtown for a little bit longer as long as I have this kind of cool network of people around me. And I do. I think I am, you know. Some of the people, and they're hopefully going to be appearing on this dumb show. It's not a dumb show, but they're, you know, hopefully going to appear on my YouTube channel at some point. And it's kind of crazy at, you know, 24 years old, I'm meeting a bunch of really cool people that I can vibe with. You know, one of the things that I think scared me a lot was towards the end of college. That's, you know, generally when people meet all their friends and stuff like that. And working remote, you don't really get to meet anybody. I think you're isolated, you know. It's almost become a trope at this point, but my only coworkers are 3 computer monitors. That's not fun. But the longer I've been at this company, the more people I'm meeting. It's a really cool opportunity to kind of step outside, you know, this isolatory box that I'm kind of confined to at the moment, and just see who else is out there. You know, it's really weird. Some of the people that I've met, I've known them for 2 weeks, and it feels like I've known them for like months and months and months. And I hope that continues to grow, and I think it will. The more I, you know, get closer to downtown and the more people I'm around, and I think all I'm waiting for is just kind of getting that job in real life. You know, I don't know any of the salary numbers or anything like that, but I do know, you know, it should hopefully pay enough to afford somewhere downtown without renting. It was actually funny. I was looking at the real estate prices in Nova Scotia, Moncton, the East Coast. I can buy a condo for like $113. That's insane to me. And I was looking at the mortgage calculation, and like some of these units go down to $80,000. Like, what would cost $600,000 in Toronto for a studio, I could flat out buy a place on the East Coast, and maybe that would be cool to rent it out, maybe, or something like that. You know, I haven't given more than like 48 hours of thought into this, but it'd be really interesting. It's kind of unfortunate that I've got my heart set on like the most expensive place in Canada or almost North America to live. If I was down to live on the East Coast, if I was down to live in Waterloo or, you know, some suburb, I'd be good right now. But I think I'm a little bit picky, which maybe isn't always a bad thing. Maybe in this case it is. Other than that, things are going well. I gotta get better at lining up podcast guests. I guess this is a podcast. Carcast? I don't know. I've got to get better at lining people up, because the way it is right now, today's a Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm at work all day. There's wedding stuff. Friday's a reception. Saturday I'm out with my aunt. She has like an eye appointment thing. Sunday I'm at this music festival. Monday the video goes up. I want to get it 2 or 3 weeks in advance, and I want to get new people on the show as well, which I'm working on. So I think there's that. I don't want to do too many episodes when I'm just talking to myself in a car, because there's not much conversation to be had when you're the only one here. I thought about the idea even of like going on Craigslist or something and offering people $20 for half an hour of their time just to talk in a car with me, because that would be cool, like the conversations you'd get from total strangers. But I also don't want to be killed or like Grand Theft Auto'd, so maybe we'll skip that one, but it's something I'm looking at. If you see an ad on Craigslist, like, hit me up. I don't know. There's not much to talk about this week, as you can tell. Things are going well. I'm dead heat into these like multiple interviews that, fingers crossed, things go well. I was talking to one of my friends over in Ottawa, and she mentioned that one of the jobs she applied for, it took her 8 interviews to get to the end there. She didn't get it in the end, but like, the first interview is just the beginning here. I think they spend a lot of time on talent acquisition, probably for a good oh my god, it's my favorite car. You guys don't know what I'm looking at, but you can probably hear it. It's a white hatchback STI with black rims, and it's, I think, those like titanium exhausts that are like blue. That's if I cared about cars, I would want that still. So she was talking about that, and it was kind of interesting. I think what I've been doing recently, and this isn't really for I'm just running out of things to talk about, but there's a bunch of girls I met on Reddit. I mean, guys too, but like girls are the only ones who have messaged me so far. There's like 3 or 4 people, and they've applied to work at my company. But either their interviews in a couple of days, or they haven't heard back, or if they have heard back, it was, wait 6 months or something like that. I've been role-playing interviews with them. I don't want to break my NDA, so of course I'm not, giving them any inside info or anything. But like, we've been going over pretend, phone interviews and things like that, just to give them a better feel for what to expect or how to do better. I'm not in recruiting, and I mean, I could grab a referral bonus, maybe. But like, it's super cool talking to people who want to work where I work and actually think I have this kind of dream job, because like, the amount of people that they hire here compared to the applicants, it's like 0.5% or something insane like that, I think. So it's really cool being able to like talk to people on the phone and role play different like interview scenarios and things like that, in hopes of kind of getting them ready for this thing and seeing if they'd be a good fit. One girl I was talking to today, I posed to some customer and I asked her this question like, hey, I'm trying to install this payment gateway. My friends in America were all talking about it. I just moved to Italy. It's not working. I'd like to speak to your manager and really give it to her. And the answer was like, the payment gateway isn't available in Italy, so there's nothing we can do. But like, it's really cool role-playing certain scenarios like that. Not to the point of me, of course, wanting to work in like HR or something like that, but it's really cool. I think just that talking to someone aspect. What's funny is that I've been literally, there's this team I want to work for internally. I've just been straight up DMing through like our private company messaging thing. Like, I've literally DM'd the entire team, just being like, hey, I want to work on your team. There's a job opening right now. I just applied to it. Do you want to hop on like a Google Hangout for half an hour and like talk about it? Literally everybody said yes, and I'm like halfway through the meetings of the entire team right now. I think I'm speaking to like hopefully my future boss on Friday. Like, everyone here is so sweet and so hospitable, I guess is the word. that they're willing to literally carve out half an hour of their actual work week in the middle of the day and just talk to some kid about like the voids they're finding in their current team or something like that, or like where they see their department going in the next 5 years, or things like that. It's I think I picked a really cool company to work with right now, and I'm definitely at peace a little more, because it really sucked for a while, and I mean it's still hit or miss, but having to like look for another job in the background of working a current job, it makes you complacent at your current job and you start caring less. But I think after being at that summit retreat thing, after meeting my team, and my god, they are, I think every single one of them, they are the best people that I've met in a really long time. I was really is this okay? I was really nervous going into this meeting a brand new team, because I just got transferred like 2 weeks before this retreat. All A+ people, and I think they're some of the reason that I'm planning to give it another year and stop looking for external opportunities, just because I'm happy with them and I think I can grow with them, and I can't think of a group of another 8 people that I'd rather be paired with, because they are out of the, can't say it because the NDA, amount of people doing my job, they are the 1% of those. They are the highest performers and the hardest specialization, and like I think I'm just really lucky to have that, and I really hope I can see them more often rather than once a year, because that's the most bittersweet thing of them all. That's pretty much all I have to say. We're pushing 20 minutes. Hopefully next week, and next week I should have a really cool guest on the show. You've seen her in past vlogs. She's been around, and I'm super excited. So I will catch you next week. Forgive me for not having a guest this week. If I find someone, you're never gonna see this video. But if I don't, I'm sorry. I'll catch you around. Bye.